Hello. All right, back. I am back. We're gonna do a mini stream today, and eventually I gotta get some sleep for my 12-hour overnight shift. So, let's go. Focus of the day, summoning magic. Summoning magic. So I thought long and hard about it. I think with summoning magic, it's going to be a pip / mana based system. I'm going to make a dedicated spell for it. It's going to be a polymorphic spell, so you'll have like a relic or a talisman in your offhand. You'll cast this spell and it will summon whatever the temporary object is into the world that you can then pick up and do whatever with. And I got carried away, so I had a couple 36-hour days. I had a couple overnight shifts, so I made elemental weapons. These are gonna be like the pinnacle of summoning weapons, but I made one for each element just because. Zoth, hey, hopefully your busy period is almost over and you can rest and recover. I got my last overnight shift tonight. So it's about 10:47 right now. I'm gonna try to take a nap at maybe around 1 p.m. my time. And then I gotta do 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So I'm gonna be, and you know what I'm gonna do? Because I'm pretty sure we're not gonna have any issues really coming in. I'm literally just gonna be modding the night away. Quite literally. So so the summoning magic may be coming pretty soon. I made a prototype, so this is what I think is going to happen. This is how it's going to work. You will have an item. What's a good? Here we go. Let's just say this is like a relic, right? You'll put something in your offhand. You will change it to the summon object spell, and this is going to be a spell that it's basically going to take a reagent, right? It's going to take whatever's in your offhand. You will cast the spell. This is going to be the first spell that takes a percentage of your max mana, and then you will materialize the object from nothing in the world, right? So this one is the Stormcaller, right? And that's the old model. This is the new model, so I'm going to have to flip that out. But basically, you'll have a minute. You could pick it up and it becomes a new item. I created a whole summoned item system. So this one lasts a total of 4 in-game hours. Durability is just set at 30. I think I may make it like 99999 since it has a limited time duration. Or maybe I'll look to see what an equivalent, like this right now has a little more attack power than a steel weapon. And the Stormcaller will do elemental damage as well. So fun. But that's the summon system. That's what it's going to be like. I started to play around with things. I'm thinking that the way it's going to work is you'll have like 10 pips or whatever the maximum is, and over time when you use a pip, it'll take like so many minutes for it to come back, right? Like it's going to be a slower kind of gain. Of course, I can make equipment and stuff later that will augment it. I can make things to where like it augments how long the duration is for summoned items when you cast the spell. But there we go. Basically, I can do things like I can make all temporary tools. Like you want to summon a knife for someone to cut with, you could do that, right? You could use a pip for that. We can do all basic tools and advanced tools, swords, bow, arrows. Poultice, I figured it'd be nice to have a poultice kind of item so you could summon a heal that you could give to other people. Mana bread, the mage bread is finally going to come in as a summoned object. You could summon armor. It works really well. Like when you have the armor equipped after the time duration, all your stats reset correctly. Like it's awesome. So I can have summoned equipment. I can have summoned bags. I can make a temporary bag. And the thing is, with the bag, I feel like it's cool. I'm going to make them pretty big bags, but you need to make sure that there are no items in the bag towards the end of that duration. You have to make darn sure, because any items you have in that bag, boom, they'll be gone. When that bag disappears, so too will your items. So it's very much like EverQuest, right? The mage could make like the soul pouch summon item. And I think the way that worked is if you had logged out for like 10, 15 minutes or, you know, like around that time, then that bag would disappear, and so too would all the items inside. So I'm totally going to add like a summon bag, like a big bag you could equip. Armor, like my bracelets and stuff, like I can have those as summoned items. There's a lot of stuff that I can do in the summon item system, which is going to be awesome, right? It's giving mages a utility, and now I feel like mages will have a couple branches they can go down. You can be the kind of mage that focuses on buffs and buff duration and, you know, that kind of augmentation, or you could go down, I feel like you could go down the summoning route, and you will be able to conjure decent, like, good items for people, right? And then you can focus on the duration, like how long those summoned items last, maybe the potency of those summoned items. So this is going to be a pretty big, awesome system. And it all starts with us making a new spell. It's going to be the Summon Object spell. And I may want to think of a different name. Let's look at my, because I have like Summon Light. I don't want people to get confused, right? Like, oh, I did Summon Light and it didn't summon a torch I could pick up. So what do we got? We got Summon Light, Summon Corpse, right? So that's just pulling the corpse. Summon Portal, so that, I guess that would be Conjuration as well. Summon Void Vault, that would be like a Conjuration thing. And then we got, well, we got Cleansing Light, so summons, that's just in the description. Telekinesis, which is not really summons. Instead of summons item entities around, I'll say pulls. Maybe we'll change that. So let's go to telekinesis. I want there to be a clear like delineation here. I don't want it to be confusing at all. All right, so what was that description? Summons item. Whoops. Summons item entities. Okay, so instead of summons item entities, this is going to be pulls item entities around the target location to your position. Perfect. Done. We're going to do .reload lang. And we will pop back and forth here. So pulls, all right. It's funny because like for the search, it still sees, I guess we'll do a full reload. I just don't want them to show up here. Cleansing Light, and instead of what Cleansing Light says, so that's going to be a tier 2 kind of spell, right? Is it tier 2? Cleansing Light. Where is it? Damn it. There you go, Cleansing Light. Instead of summons, I'll say conjures. Should the spell name be called like Conjure Object or Conjuration? I'm trying to think what it should be. Corbin Ramsey, yay! Maybe Manifest a Light. That's, yeah, you know, Manifest would be good. Manifest a cleansing light that eradicates. You know what? We'll do that. Manifest a cleansing light. We have the other description here as well. There we go. Also, hello. We got a lot of fun things planned. We're gonna do another reload. So I'm wondering though, should it be called summon object or should it be like conjure object for this spell? Because this is gonna be a unique spell. Maybe having the term like summon. Although I like the idea of it being the summoning system, not the conjuring, conjuring system. All right, so let's go back into here. So what do we got for summon? Hey, look at that. So summon Void Vault, summon Portal, summon Corpse. I think those spell names are good. I think this is maybe a little more clean. All right, you know what? Let's create a new spell. New spell time. Spell me. I'm about to add a lot of things. The running game is not going to be happy with me. So we'll quit. There. First thing I need to do is, and I guess everyone gets to see again how I create my spells. Again. Are there any other spells I wanted to make? It's better to do this stuff in batches. I can't think of any other spells. Let me look at Discord fast. Oh, you know what? It would be like far gone. Hold on. Let's see let's go into the alpha chat. The alpha chat. Were there any other spells that my alpha chatters put in here? Those are staves. We talk about rituals. We talk about the summoning system. Wait, work in progress spell. Wait. Nope. That was me. So we got mage bread, tools, weapons. Okay, that was me talking again. Okay, horde of summons. So I think in the immediate future here, it was just all like summon things. Oh, someone had mentioned making it so cleansing light you could move while casting it. I thought that was a good idea, so let's make that change fast. But I don't think there was any spells to put in. So it's just gonna be summon object. Summon object. Global. Researched. Tier 2. Cleansing light. And this is gonna be really easy, because I just have to copy this variable and put it right into cleansing light. There, now you can move and cast. So glad I did it that way. So glad. Move while casting, true. Done. Boop, boop. Alright, let's create a new spell. We go into spell names. So I'm thinking summon object is going to be a tier 1 spell. And it's not going to be like a summon object 1, 2, and 3. I think it's just going to be called summon object. And the idea is now how are you going to get this spell? Ooh. Because I like the idea of you. This is tough. Because right now, the way you get spells, it's all RNG. So do I make a like summon object 1, 2, and 3? Do I have it to where you need a new item called like the summoning staff to get it? Is this going to be an innate thing like transmutation? Let's take a look in the game. Let's hop in. And I also have to think about the rewrite that I want to do with 1.21 as well. We got to think of that. I don't have random on. There we go. Whew. Now we'll get some random songs. You know what? I love this song. It's great. I think we need other inspiration right now. There it is. There it is. Okay. Summon object. How are people going to get this? Let's take a look here. So, I mean, everything's kind of... Everything aligns pretty well here. Can't really put like a summon objects, but summon object would only be useful. Oh, boy. All spells are now explosive in 1.20 rewrite. Hey, Vexus. Yeah, right? Everything's a bomb now. The scary update. Although, honestly, it's just as scary as knowing our version 1.21 in the game is pretty much a wash that's coming up. I don't know what's scarier. Hey, yes, bud. I'm finally off. Man, Vexus, tonight is my last overnight shift. I've had like 2 36-hour days and an overnight peppered in between. 12-hour overnight. Tonight, from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. is my last shift. I feel wiped out, but I want to get some work done here. Gods, yeah, same here. It's been exhausting. Oh. You and I both, we're in it. Could make it go from transmutation, like you just hold an item in the offhand and summon stuff. I had considered that too. I was just, that's why I just popped up transmutation here, because it... See, this is the biggest issue though. It has to do with people understanding what the spell does. You know, like transmutation being what it is, I've learned early on, like in the early revisions of this, when I had my polymorphic spells, a lot of people, even though I told them in like 3 different places how a polymorphic spell works, I had the in-game guide. That was when the guidebook was like in its very, very infancy. Actually, it wasn't even the guidebook in its current form. And then I had like everything detailed out in the survival handbook, and I had it on the website about polymorphic spells, and people were still like, I only got 2 attack spells, man, this sucks. And it's like, actually no, that 1 attack spell, since it depends on what the focus is in your offhand, that's like 9 different spells right there. You want a fireball, put the fire focus in your offhand, and now you shoot a fireball. People did not understand that. So the biggest issue that I'm ever going to have with this stuff is people understanding how this stuff works. And I don't know if there's anything I could do to help with that. Oh, Vexus, have you seen the summoning system that I have so far? This is the culmination of some of those overnights. I made ultimate weapons for each element. And the way this spell's gonna work is you will cast it, and watch this. Nope, wait, wrong spell. Don't watch that. Don't watch that. So you'll look somewhere, right? Boom. You summon the object into the world, pick it up. I created a whole summon item system. This thing will last for 4 hours, right? And it just ticks down. It has like a duration, and then when the time expires, the object will disappear. I can do summon items for armor, bags, you know, I can make mana bread finally, poultice, I can make basic tools. Like imagine someone's like, oh, I need a knife. No problem. You summon down a knife, sticks in the ground, the person walks over, picks it up. So the idea, yeah, I'm finally adding mana bread. But the idea is, I want people to start to specialize in like one thing or another. If you want to specialize in attack stuff, I want to give you a route for that. If you want to specialize in enhancement, right, I want to give you a route for that, right, the buffs. If you want to specialize in conjuration, again, I want to give you a route for that. I imagine you can't summon those till like high levels, tier. Yeah, this would be like a tier 3 mage, because they are more powerful than steel weapons. They do more damage than steel. But I think they look awesome. The druid one, the nature one, like kind of making it like a plant. It's a plant spear. and I honestly I love them all. I thought the earth one was going to be my least favorite, but I mean, come on, taking like a war hammer and just smashing something. So I put some work into it. They do look sick, yeah, right? Oh yeah, they do glow, yes. So they all have like bits on them that glow, right? So like that one right there. So yeah. Love it. Boop. The red I thought was a Halo sword at first when he got closer. Oh, really? I've never played Halo, so I'll have to. I thought Halo had weapons like guns. Maybe there's like a knife, right? I guess there always has to be a knife. You run out of ammo. But yeah, I was thinking more like a lance, but I didn't want to make like a big thick 3D lance. I do have a question. Are you going to make those similar to wands so you can cast with them? I don't know yet. I don't know about these. Each melee attack will do elemental damage. They're going to do a mix of damage. It may do like 2 points of like physical damage. So, you know, a lot of these like, you know, blunt, piercing, slashing. So I guess there'll be only 2 slashing. So we'll do like 2 points of that damage, and then the other amount, the other 4 to make it the 6, will be for this element, right? So you'll be able to, you'll want to use these to fight like the final boss, the dragon that I want to put in for like the final magic boss, right? Because if you're gonna be fighting the nature dragon, you're probably gonna want to summon the eclipse to do extra damage. So yeah, and that way you could deck out other people too. So that's the idea. So that dragon, I'm making it, right? Well, yeah, in time. Don't make it now because it's still a ways off. I need to figure out how to create another dimension in the game, so I can spawn you and your friends into like an arena that I can then blow up and stuff. Because you're not gonna want to summon these things in the world. It's gonna wreck you. It's gonna destroy everything you love and own. Didn't know you were making dragons. I want dragons. I want dargans. Oh, we be making dragons. Ask Vice wiggles eyebrows. Yeah, right. So yeah, the summoning system. How is this going to work? Should it be its own like summoning staff? Now, see, the problem with making a summoning staff is that people will get confused because a staff is the primary tool that you use in Grimoire spellcasting. It's the primary tool. Ooh, it's a tough one. This is a tough one. Should this just be a spell, right? I guess we're back to that. Should it be like a Grimoire spellbook? Should it be a spell book that you can make through like meditation insight? Like you learn the spell, but then how would you make the spell scroll? There's got to be a way. What if I make something where yeah, this is hard. I think either way it's going to have to be a registered spell. I think there only needs to be one type of summon object spell also. Because like the idea is like you'll make something in your offhand, right? That works with the spell. The spell itself won't do anything. This is going to be the hardest thing. Like what's the optimum way to get a system like this in? What is the optimal way? Quick question. If you hit something with one summoned weapons, will it inflict the element it's made of, like nature equals poison? Well, there is no poison right now, but it would do nature elemental damage if you do the nature, right? This would do frost elemental damage, lightning elemental damage, things like that. That's how it would work. Yeah. So the idea is, you know, you could summon a tool, a specific tool, and it's going to like rock whatever the element that it's weak against is. But you also have to be careful, right? Because if I use nature and I'm fighting a nature elemental, I'll do a little damage to it, but I will basically slowly heal it as I attack it, right? Because if it's only 2 physical damage and then the other 4 damage is going to be elemental, well, that, sure, it's going to lose 2 hit points, but then it's going to be healed by 4. So you're gonna have to be careful the way this stuff works. I think the easiest way you could do it is understandable. It's just innate. Yeah, but that also opens up the question of like, should this just be like a wand, a staff, and then a whatever, right? You know, like just another tool type that is completely separate from all this. You hold the tool, you could see like your elemental, like how many pips you have for summoning. You know what I mean? Like, is this the start of like its own tool type? See, I keep thinking of like a summoning staff, right? What other objects could you use to like summon something? Minus an orb, because like I have lacrimas, I have a lot of like orb-like structures in the mod as it is. So I don't want another one, right? Like the essence core, we got Seer's compound. There's a lot of circular things. The rift charge, right? Even the portal, right? When it's in your hand. there's a lot of orbs. So we got wands, we got staves. You know what we could do? Hey, co-pilot. What other magical tools can a mage use to summon objects? I don't want to use wands or staves, please. So a crystal, a summoning ring. Interesting. Enchanted musical instrument. Sucks. Magic tome. That's too close to a grimoire. Charms or amulets. A bell. A bell would be unique, but I don't want to use a bell. Bing. A glove or gauntlet. A summoning gauntlet. Oh man, I feel like I want to reserve that for a melee weapon instead of a summoning weapon. A shadow elemental object here. Can you list more? Magic lantern, magic coin, pocket mirror, scrolls. I can't do anything with scrolls. Feathers, nah. Spectral chains, a cloak or cape, a vial, a footstep. What? Get out of here! Get out of here. A summoning mask. I don't want it to be. It needs to be something you hold. Dice, maps, sigil. I'm already using the term sigil for the rituals. Magic sand. Show you a couple of orbs. Summoning ring would be like the rituals, right? Well, I do have a ritual of summoning, and it's a spiral. But I don't know. I gotta figure it out. Reach in and pull out an object. Well, the way the spell's gonna work is wherever you're looking, it's gonna summon the item at that location with a max range. Right now it's like 64. or 60 blocks away is a max range. So like if I do this, right, you could see I summon the object and it just falls from the sky. Oh, here come the particles. Right, but now you got the summoned object. The range is not going to be that severe. The reason why I had it 60 before was because I had an idea for a very destructive spell where you would chain summon down lightning bolts wherever you're looking. I'm not going to do that for realsies. Not going to do that for real. Summoning sack. Broop. It's like pulling a rabbit out of a hat, right? Maybe an amulet that you can nap out, like the sigils. I want to reserve amulets for like anything wearable. I want to reserve for the wearable stuff because I do have an idea. Like this right now is the wrist, but like necklaces, like amulets, I want to make it to where you can imbue some spells into an amulet. So let's say you have like the underwater breathing spell, right? Endless breath or whatever I call it. I totally forgot. But you'll be able to enchant that spell into that necklace. That way, if someone puts it on, even if they're not a mage, they will have the effect of that buff while they wear it. So, or I can make it like a clicky, like in EverQuest, right? You put the necklace on, right, and you can activate it or something to recast the spell. Maybe, I don't know. I like the idea of it being like a gauntlet or a ring. Because like, okay, let's take a quick look here. Let's stop flying, right? So it would be in your hand. In your hand. And I think it'd be cool, like, oh god, I can make like a Thanos gauntlet. I'll color it differently. It won't be gaudy gold, but like an Eldrathium gauntlet. Ooh. Oh god, why did I think of that? Think of the ring first. All right, what would a ring look like in your hand, right? Like it would be weird if you just like held a ring. That would be weird. Like this isn't Sonic, you know what I mean. It would be, I mean, the ring could go around this way, but then again, it could be a gauntlet, and that ring could be part of the gauntlet. Oh man, a gauntlet would be cool. It would be cool. I could put spikes on it. It could be like a Lich King gauntlet. No, wait, that's the necromancer in me. that's the necromancer in me. Oh, and I have an idea for other summon spells too. Like, how cool would this be? You have a birch sapling. All right, you see where I'm going with this? Birch sapling. Put it down in the world. And then you have like an item, like a conversion item. So I can go up to that and I can tag it. All right. And I can tag it. And then it would be like a temporary buff on that for like a minute. And then I could take the summoned object thing, cast the spell on that. And then I can make a treant minion, a temporary minion out of that. That would follow you. All right. Or where is it? Pile of bones. Right. You put down a pile of bones, and then you use that item, and then you use the summon spell to create a skeleton that you like a temporary skeleton pet minion. Alistrom Live, hey, we're just thinking about Rustbound Magic. We are in it. We are in it. Ambitious summoning system. But how cool would that be though, right? Like you can just like conjure temporary creatures to help you fight. You know, like I think that would be cool. I think that would be awesome. You could really feel like a druid, right? You get this bad boy. You get the wild heart, right? You have your druid like spells, right? You can have your druid staff, right? I want you to be able to role play. I want you to role play. So how hard do you want the obtain of the most basic summoning to be? I don't think I want it to be too hard. I think making like a gauntlet just like you would a staff or a wand, like I want it to be like another avenue, right? So you would make like this wand, or you would make this gauntlet, right? You would make a gauntlet, and then you would have a combination of your gauntlet and then whatever the offhand item is, right? So someone wants a knife to harvest with. You have like 10 pips, right? And you're like, oh, I could summon a knife. It costs me only 1 pip. Here you go, right? You get your gauntlet, you get that offhand relic of like, you know, conjure knife, and then bam, you summon it into the world. You know, it's gonna be just like a knife. It's not gonna be as glorious as this. And then you walk up, their friend walks up to it, and they pick it up, and it's like, oh, cool. I got 4 hours to use this. You know, and durability is probably going to be like max durability, right? Because it's going to be a time-based thing. Or you specialize in conjuration, and you have the armor and equipment that gives you more pips, right? So you could summon more things. And then you have like the necklace that increases the time by like 50% that the summoned item lives, or, you know, things like that, right? Like I want like a whole system for this conjuration type system. Hey, Alistrom, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. I love Trant dudes with me, right? And I think I want this to be available for mages maybe right out the gate, right? Like why not give something like this to a tier 1 mage? The only difference is, you know, you'll be able to make like some tier 1 basic tools, and then they'll be equivalent to like flint tools, you know? But it would be nice to be like, oh, instead of wasting stuff on a shovel, let me just summon a shovel. Let me conjure a shovel. You know, it takes a pip. Maybe it takes like 10% of your maximum mana, whatever that is, up to a certain amount. Bam, you could summon it. You can summon your shovel. And then when you become a tier 2 mage, that same combo will summon something equivalent to like a copper shovel, right? Or a better upgraded form because you yourself became a more powerful mage, right? I got really excited. I was thinking about this all week. I'm like, this is perfect, because I'm like, well, summoning could be a tier 3 thing. So the idea was like, wands will be all tier 1, the grimoires will be tier 2, and then summoning magic would be tier 3. But why not, you know, why not do things a little different, right? Just a little different. Just make summoning right off the bat. It's my thoughts. Yeah, it's part of druids versus paladins. How do you feel about werewolves? I just finished screwing with some code. Werewolves, I don't know. It depends. It depends on how many people in the community would hate the idea of werewolves. Man, people are going to be pissed when they see the other elemental monsters I put in. Oh, they're going to be pissed. This is too hard, Vice. Use some of that magic that I gave you then. I'd make them look similar to the Treant form in WoW. Oh, that would be so cool. I'd love that form. The old school Treant form. Actually, I like the new model too. Yes, please. That sounds perfect, man. That'd be so cute. I love to see them helping out at start, right? That'd be so cool. Now, summon corpse and like summon Treant and things like that. Those would probably be, so I got to think of it this way, right? Summon object, is that going to be the primary spell? Like, is that maybe that's what I need. I need a dedicated spell just for summoning the objects, and then depending on your offhand item, right? So this is going to be like a polymorphic spell coming back, right? Like, and you know what? Maybe I can make a fun way for you to discover and create whatever this offhand relic item is, right? Like I can't use relic, I can't use sigil, I can't use Talisman, but I will have some offhand thing, right? And then that will have durability too. Maybe it could be something like that. Like it would lower the durability of that item, right? So you have Summon Knife. If I'm a tier 3 mage, I can make equivalent to like an iron or steel knife that comes down from the ground, right? For maybe that same little pip cost. But maybe other things like Summon Treant and Summon Corpse, maybe those are something that maybe a tier 2 and up mage could make, right? With like a better form of like, yeah, Skeletal Knight, right? Instead of just Summon Skeleton. Or, you know, instead of little baby Treant, like it's like its grown up form, right? Make it do a little dance. ViesCraft had a great spell that turns trees into Ents. So like plant sapling, cast spell, raise tree person from the eventual sapling that walks around. Adorable early, murderous later. Yeah, right? So maybe something like that, because that was the idea, right? You would go to a sapling and then you would summon the Treant sapling, and it would be based on like birch in this case, right? I gotta get rid of this. Ugh. There we go. Keep getting tagged by that. So I gotta think ahead though, right? So really, if it's just my offhand item that's important, the Summon Gauntlet could just be... doesn't even need durability. This is there's a lot of good ideas. I think the first thing that it needs to start off as is a registered spell in-game. Now I can make that spell exclusive to the gauntlet, just like the wands, right? Like they all have their own dedicated thing. Using different trees as a formula for stats. So I have an idea for the first summon tools. You would be able to craft the first gauntlet just out of rope, enhanced stone, and Arcanus kind of like a wand for its balance. Make them last half as long as normal summoned items. Okay, like a crude gauntlet. Oh, that's good, using different trees for as a formula for stats. Yeah, and all that stuff absolutely is possible. Like I think I would want, but I would want that same kind of intricacy to like summon skeleton, right? Like I got to make sure there's decent balance between that stuff. Just because it doesn't make sense to spend hours and hours and days on like a spell that sucks in comparison to like this is the ultimate summon spell, right? So I got to make them similar. If there's complexity in one, there's got to be complexity equal to, you know, in the other, or at least as close to equal as I can get. So, all right, let's make a new spell. It's going to be called Summon Object. Summon Object. All right, spell name. So Summon Object is going to be... I'm going to consider it an innate spell. We are making another innate spell. Oh, I remember Life Tap. Okay, wait. Should it be the summoning line, like Summon Object, or should it be Conjure Object? What's a better name? I gotta know now, because it's going to take hell running backwards through a spiky cornfield, ass up, to change it later. it's so much effort to change it later. Well, the name objects, I was going to call it Summon Object. I can say like Conjure Object. I could say like, you know, Conjuration instead of Transmutation, right? Like there are different summoning, summon. Conjure rolls off the tongue better. but I feel like summon is better for the system name. Right? So conjure would be better applied as it's temporary. Yes, right? So conjure, it's easier to control. Conjure, it's easier to control F. Summon can be permanent. Maybe. I don't know if I want to make permanent versions. Oh, build errors. It's because of this. Oop. We'll put transmutation 1 in there. Hey, Oder, how's it going? Man, I got a blitzing headache. Holy crap. I gotta get more sleep. Whew. I gotta get more sleep. Because when I think of summon, I think of summoning monsters and the like, and conjuring is more like the item side of it. Damn, that is very astute, Gorbin. That's very astute right there. That you may have sold me on like making the spell conjure, conjuration, something like that. That's a good point, because the ritual, I have a ritual of summoning, and that is going to summon like creatures, right? Like creatures in the world, and that may actually be how you summon your temporary pets. Maybe I tie that specifically to that whole system. So you're setting up a dedicated area. You are putting different elements down. You are using a core. Maybe that core could dictate potency, right? Like level, right? And it's this big ritual, and then bam, you get your minion. This system that I'm making now is, they're all temporary objects, right? Now you could extend the duration and maybe get days out of a summoned item, but you know, it's a toss-up, right? It's all temporary. So I think conjuration, maybe, fucking caps lock, man, every time. Maybe conjuration. Maybe. I'm sold. That's perfect. There. Let me make sure I fucking spelt this right. I'm so tired. I don't trust myself spelling anything at all. I misspelled the numerous times today. Numerous times. So that's right. Conjuration. Hello, yeah, woke up early myself, sleepy here too. Yeah, man, I got a long night ahead of me. Freaking long ass night. But you know what? I can get a lot done in a long night. Corbin Ramsey coming in with the prime sub. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support, man. That's awesome. I'll slide in your DMs if you need an animator for the chance. Let me tell you, Vexus is amazing when it comes to model. You gotta see some of the stuff she does. Like, holy crap. Like this, let's put it this way. Let's hop in. Let's hop in for a quick little tour. Charles, I know myself enough to know where my strengths and weaknesses are. I'm not the worst modeler. But god damn it, it takes me a long time. It takes me a long time. Just got off a cooldown today and I feel like you deserve it. Thank you. I definitely appreciate it. You gotta make sure you use it on someone, right? You just can't let it go. That's money in Bezos' pocket. We gotta take all we can, right? Robin Hood it up. Right, so eventually I make decent things, but literally like a couple of these things were like night shifts. Like it shouldn't take 12 hours to be like, I made 1.5 of these or 2.5. Right? Now it's not like I was sitting there the whole time super focused, right? I'm also every once in a while doing something for work or answering something, right? Because I have my second monitor here, so I see like everything. I'm monitoring everything there, but I'm watching videos and cooking and looking up recipes and, you know, farting around. Oh, Vexus is here. Never mind. Can I hire you for a werewolf mod? I love it. I love it. All right. We are making the spell. Is Conjuration a good name for it? Or should it just be Conjure? Conjuration, in general sense, refers to the act of summoning or calling forth something, often supernatural or magical, using incantations or spells. Can also be referred to the performance of stage magic or illusion. Act of calling or bringing forth, spirits, deities, blah, blah, blah. Conjuration, school of magic, right? There's a lot that can go into this. A lot that can go in. Hey, Wasteland, how's it going? Nanotech, everyone's showing up. How about space-time yoinking? Hope you're doing good. I'm doing pretty good. I'm a little tired. I'm gonna be more tired tomorrow for sure. Oh, while we're in here, I wanted to make another debuff. This is gonna be weighted. Yeah, and it's not technically a real spell, but it is going to be an active debuff. Okay. Basically, like, that's going to be a debuff that you can put on players, and it basically is going to make it to where you can't jump, right? Like, you're going to be weighed down. You can't jump. It may slow down your movement speed a little bit, but I think it's going to be worse if you cannot jump. Especially in a game like this, you fall into that little one-block pit and you can't get out of it. That's like the scariest thing, I think. All right, so we'll do that. So how about spell names here? Spell names. Conjuration, is Conjuration the name, or should it just be Conjure? Conjure object, right? Like, what should the name of this new spell be for summoning? I need help now because we are about to rip through a lot of stuff and I need the registry name. Conjure object sounds direct. Hey, Juno. You'd say conjure? Okay, so conjure or conjure object? It can only have one registry name though, Vexus, right? I can't keep conjure object and conjure. It's got to be the same registry name all the way through. Yeah, see that? And oh my god, I don't want to confuse people. Like, that's the last thing I want to do, right? Like, well, what difference is conjure to conjure object? I notice a 0.1% increase in cast speed between one or the other. You know what I mean? Like, I get fake statistics all the time with this stuff. It's gotta be. I suppose conjure object keeps it consistent. All right, you know, it's gonna be conjure object. All right, new spell time. Conjure object. I did spell that right? Like, the 12-hour overnight shifts, the 36, like Monday, Tuesday to Wednesday, I worked from 6 a.m. all the way through 6 a.m. Monday to, I think it was Wednesday. Oh god, 36, no, it's 36 hours, so it was like Tuesday, I think Tuesday at like 5 is when I stopped. So Monday at 6 a.m. to Tuesday at 5. Getting up to like grab food and come back to the computer or hit the can and, you know, it's been rough. My eyes hurt. Okay, so instead of converts, this will be summons temporary objects into the world. Object summoned depends on offhand item. Offhand. You know, I'll say the. I won't be stingy with my words here. I'll go a little more in depth. All right, now everyone gets to see how, again, I create my spells. It's going to be a lot. So we put it in that dictionary, right? That's my global dictionary. Oh, well, that's not the dictionary, right? That's just my global enum that the dictionary will reference. Let's go down into... Let's create the spell next. Let's create the spell. It is... I'm going to use Static Shock. Here it is. I'm going to use this as the basis. We are going to make this an innate spell. We got to rename it here. Conjure Object. Please, if anyone sees me misspell anything, please tell me. Please. All right, so I gotta update this. And now we have Conjure Object in here. This is going to be a tier 0 spell. The spell school, let's look at transmutation. I think I just have a spell school for the... Okay, so I have one for innate. Good. All right, so the spell school being innate. You know what? Hold on, where's transmutation? The school, wait, school transmutation. We have to add it here as well. So let's do Conjure Object. We got to add it to this spell school enum. All right, now we can go back into here. So this will be Conjure Object. The element is going to be... Oh, it's not going to be innate, right? Because I think for the school... There we go. We want to... Yeah... Oh, I don't have an element. That's right. No, that would make sense. I could put element none, but all the items default to element none. Let's get rid of that. So for a mana cost, I guess I need to make basic statistics here. We're not going to need damage. Really, it's just going to be a cast time and a mana cost. And a range, right? Range as well. So I'm just going to copy these. Boop. Boop. We need to create some constants here. And I'm going to copy these because we also need to make config options as well. All right, I'm going to select everything. If it says transmutation, make it conjure object only within my selected area. Okay, if it is transmutation, I'll capitalize, make it conjure object, all capitalize. Right there, 6 occurrences sound right. So the base mana cost, now I need to make some constants. So we are going to pop into here, paste. And again, I'm going to select all of this. Where it sees transmutation, we'll do conjure object. For now, a 3 mana cost. I'm just going to make it 10 for now. Base cast time, 5 seconds. It's going to be 10 seconds. The range is going to be... We'll give it 20. I'll give it 20 blocks. A 20 block range. You know what? That's too generous. Let's make it 15. You know what? Let's make it 10. There we go. It's something I could easily change when people start playing with it. Okay, so now that we have those done, let's go back into here. I need to change out these for the configs we just made. So boop, there we go. All of this stuff is going to stay the same because for now I don't care about the contents of the spell. I just need to get it in the game, registered, something that is usable. All right, so now that the basic spell is done, we have to go through the registry for it. Spell dictionary, that's server side. Scroll all the way down here, I believe. Crap, where is it? Where's all this stuff? Okay, that's That's something different. Here it is. Here it is. The spell list. We are going to go into the innate section. We're going to copy and paste this. This is going to be conjure object. We're going to register it under the name conjure object. So that is now in our spell dictionary. And I believe for innate spells, you can't disable them. Yeah, I made it to where you cannot disable them. It's just part of the game. Part of the mod. So now it's going to be registered there. Now we got to start creating some things for it. We got to create some stuff. I need to go down to the JSON section. Okay, right in here, spell type. We have to add it here. You get to see some of the stuff that I had an idea for. Conjure object. That looked weird to me for a minute, but I think it's good. We need to create an icon for this. I believe projected return is another work in progress spell. Projected return. There we go. This is just going to be called conjure object. And we are going to make sure it's blank. Yep. It's blank, waiting for an icon. Perfect. The game will crash without that simple texture file. All right, let's go into... I don't have to worry about shapes yet. Nothing in recipes. Language file. We have a lot of stuff to add for the language file. Let's look for anything that is transmutation. We got to do this at the top. There we go. Go all the way up here. Now we're going to search. So that's the basic wood wand. Oh, you know what? Let's back up. I need to comment those out. Those aren't real items anymore. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay, so now this is the grimoire part of it. Because technically everything has a grimoire in the back end, even if it doesn't. Conjure object. Conjure object, right? Next, yep, it would be the description. Copy, paste. Get rid of that. Let's go into the spell... No, it's not the spell schools. Here we go. The enum names. I'm just going to copy this. And we'll paste that in. Summons temporary objects into the world. The object summoned depends on offhand item. Good enough. I can always come back in. This is going to be conjure object. And I believe that is the last thing that I need to do. Yeah, transmutation failed. Cast transmutation on this prism. There's going to be a lot of transmutation. The rest of this stuff is GUI stuff. All right, so let's continue going up. Now I need to go into the spell scroll, spell casting. No, actually not spell casting. I need to go into Magician's Brick. The basic wand, here we go. And I need the spell cipher, the grimoire, spell icon. Nope, spell icon's already gonna be good to go. I think that's it. So for the grimoire, on the skip, we need to put in conjure object. You are not gonna find this through spell research. It's an innate spell. It's going to be embedded in the gauntlet. All right, the spell cipher, it's going to be the same thing. You are not going to be able to create a spell cipher for this. I believe I don't have to do anything in here. Yeah. There's nothing in here that needs to be done. Spell scroll. We need to put this on the skip list as well. Spell type is already there. So that should be everything. We should have the spell in the game. We won't be able to do anything with it yet. Unless I want to make a temporary grimoire for it. I could do that. I'll do that. That way we can see if everything's localized right. Although it's probably not going to have... Yeah, it's not going to have any textures. This is just going to be... We'll try it out. It should not crash. Let's see. Oh, I'm running out of soda. I'm running out. Wait a minute. We got another one. Ah, yeah. That right there tells me that the registry was complete. It was successful. Let's go under spells right at the very end. There's our conjure object spell. So we got our spell school, the description's correct, the name is localized properly, it's using our blank icon, mana cost of 10, the spell casting time of 10, block range of 10. Did I really make it all 10? Did I end up doing that? That's wrong, right? I didn't do that. I wasn't paying close enough attention. I was not paying close enough. Holy shit, I did make it all 10. I made it all 10. Cool. Awesome. No, I said the range was 10. I think I went from like 20 to 15 and then last minute 10. All right, no, so it's pulling from there, and people will be able to go into the configs just like all the other spells, and you'll be able to tweak these settings as well if you don't like the way the settings are. Because I'm nice like that. Nice like that. 10 is a good range for it. I think so too. Considering how, like, basically you could summon it any, like, even in thin air, right? This is 60, so obviously, you know, it... Clunk. Oh, one sec. I got 10 minutes. Less than. I feel compelled to pick this up. I feel compelled. we'll admin delete it. But I think 10 is a good range. And you won't be able to like move while casting this spell. Okay, so that's just the basic spell. Now what we need to do is create. We gotta create a wand, or the casting mechanism for this. Maybe I'll call it a wand, a gauntlet. Maybe I'll just call it a gauntlet, or maybe a summoning gauntlet. Let me look at the wording of my other tools here. So it's going to be a tool. We have basic wand. Tool spell casting for the staff, tool spell scroll, tool summoning gauntlet. Or tool, not summoning. I don't want summoning gauntlet. I want conjure gauntlet. Tool spell gauntlet. What about tool spell? Tool I think I want conjure in there, because this right here, the spell casting, that was an old term. This was before wands or anything, so it was the only spell casting tool. And then I did for the wand, right? I put in basic wand, because it's the basic form of magic. So this would be tool like conjure gauntlet would be for the same thing, I would think, right? Because it's conjure object, the conjure gauntlet, or I could say tool conjure object. I don't have to necessarily say it's a gauntlet in the registry name. I can localize it and I can give it the gauntlet shape. Yep, okay, so that's what we'll do. We gotta close out the game for what I'm about to do. Copy paste. We'll use this. It's going to be tool conjure object. I hate it. All right. Gauntlet. Why not? Tool conjure gauntlet. This is not going to have a transmog system with it, I don't think. Tool conjure item, you know what? I like it. Perfect. See, I didn't want conjure object in there because if I do any string searches, it could potentially pull up this item when it should be pulling up an entity or something else, right? So I got to think about having unique names between my spells and that dictionary and, you know, actual like the registry for like tools, right? Tool conjure item. All right, so let's hop in here. Anywhere it says tool basic wand, tool conjure item, it's gonna be 6 occurrences. We need to make a new item class. So I am going to copy the tool basic wand. This will be tool conjure item. All right, hop into here. So we need to change it here, here, and here. We need to register this. Let me change it here. Bam. All right, now we got to register this item class. So we'll go into our registry. We'll go up into the items section. What was this? The basic wand, right? Yeah. So I'll put it with the basic wand. Copy, paste, conjure item. Right there, right there. Delete that out. Save. All right, let's go back into here. Variants. Do I want different variants? Probably not you know what? You know what? Hold on. What if I take this a step further? What if I make it to where you have like a crude, right? And then maybe a more powerful one. I could have different branches. I could have one where maybe it affects the length of the summoned item, right? Like an upgraded form of the tool that could affect the duration of the conjured item. Maybe I could have one. Oh, I could have one where maybe it takes like half as much of whatever the resource is. It could be like maybe it takes no mana, but it costs health. Right? Something like that. I could have different variations of this this conjuring tool. It's genius! I think for this it needs to be conjure object, right? Because I may make more versions of this spell. But for now, we'll just put in conjure object. For this, I could say like basic. And then I'll do like health. right? Health, duration. Different things like that, right? But we'll focus on basic. So we'll put in basic here. We'll put in basic here. Oh, you know what? Actually, I could just do that. And we'll get rid of that. All right, everything else, it's not going to have a shape yet. It's not going to have any textures to go with it because I'm going to have to make it first, but I will put in basic there. Durability, do I have a wild card? No, I don't. So I'll just say basic for that. And here we go. Tool tier 1. Gonna go eat some pancakes? All right, nanotech, sounds good. Could just copy the wand texture while you test the spell. Well, it doesn't need a texture, right? Like it doesn't need like anything like that. Like the spell would still work. You could still cast with it. It would just be a little white question mark box. All right. So we just created an item that is going to use the item class that we created. And it's going to have some variants in it. When we start the game, there's going to be a bunch of errors popping up in the side because it's going to be looking for a shape that doesn't exist. It's going to be looking for trying to put textures on the shape that doesn't exist. But we will be able to see it come up as a registered object. This is actually the best coding tutorial I've seen in a while. That's why I like to live stream. Like teach other people to code. Which reminds me, I got to reach out to I think 2 people that wanted me to give them a one-on-one to get started with modding. So I gotta pencil that in at some point today. All right, so we should see it. I think I have it under equipment. Yep. So we have our basic, we have the health, and we have the duration forms of this gauntlet. Fair enough. Can't read it all. Watching while I smoke some cheese. Oh, that's cool. I'm going to be making some rosemary salt in actually a couple minutes. The groceries will be here. And yeah, I got some cooking I'm going to be doing here. But we got to find someone to raid because I realized I'm probably over my time. Any moment now. Who is playing Vintage Story? Need to throw some of that knowledge to Aranis. Have Rondo watch. I respect the alchemists at work. You know, it's funny you mentioned alchemists. Hold on, let me show you. Where is it? Rustbound Alchemy mod. So I have a whole section here about the gameplay loop I want to do with my alchemy mod, how things are going to be separated out, how you make potions, like what different effects are and stuff. I do want to make an alchemy mod eventually. But all right, who is? Wow, we got a lot of people playing Vintage Story. This is awesome. What's everyone doing here? They're better streamers. Who are we gonna throw it to? Oh, man away. We're gonna throw it over to Mana. Oops. I am literally gonna be tumbling out of the car, the moving raid. I'm gonna tuck and roll. Tuck and roll. All right, everyone. Let's show some love. Yeah, Feverstone Wilds, yep. I like advice. I'll model that for you if you like. I can do a little. I can do that. I can do that a little more. Okay, capable. Oh my god, I'm tired. I'm gonna make the gauntlet. I'm gonna make the gauntlet because I have a particular spike idea that I want to try in this gauntlet. I kind of want to make it a melee weapon. I want to make Lich King armor. Oh my god, I think I want to make Lich King armor. No, I gotta focus on the gauntlet. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. This has been fun. You got a sneak peek of the summoning system. You got a sneak peek of specific summoning elemental weapons that you're going to be able to use. This is some good stuff. This is going to expand Magic quite a bit. But thank you. Have a wonderful day. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Adios. See you later. Bye.